everybody, I'm Sarah and this is Erik and we are
Recorder Players.
Today we are back again with another episode of The Profiles where I chat to other professional recorder players, and today joining me is Erik Bosgraaf.
Thank you.
So Erik is a Dutch recorder player who studied in Amsterdam, just like me, and now he performs all over the world, and I mean all over the world, as well as being a guest professor of the recorder in Amsterdam and also in Krakow. So yeah, Erik, can you first tell me, how did you start playing the recorder?
Well, I started to play the recorder when I was 8 or 9 years old. I actually wanted to play the oboe at first, but I was too young to start because it's physically very, you need a lot of power for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I started recorder more as an upbeat for what was considered a real instrument.
That is something I hear almost all the time, people saying, oh, I played the recorder before I played a real instrument.
Yeah.
But you continued.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when I get that question, like, how did you start recorder? I say, well, the question should be, why did you continue? And my parents said, okay, at least practice 15 minutes a day on the oboe.
Mm-hmm.
That 15 minutes became an obligation. Playing the recorder, I played recorder for fun for hours and hours as a kid, and I completely lost track of time. Yeah, the recorder felt more like, you just grab it and you just bite in it like an apple, It feels like such a spontaneous instrument.
Was there a point that you knew you wanted to be a professional recorder player?
Well, actually there was really a kind of pivotal moment. I think I must have been around 15, when I hear the performance of the Mass in B minor by Bach, which doesn't have any recorder. But listening to that piece had such an incredible impact. This is like liquid gold. If music can have this kind of power, and if it is this magic thing, I really want to be part of this. I remember solemnly swearing to myself that I really want to dedicate my life to music.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you were 15?
Yeah, around that time, yeah.
Wow. So you went to conservatorium?
I started in Groningen at the conservatorium, and then I went to Amsterdam. I had my dips of motivation in that process, but I also learned to embrace doubt. I mean, doubt is in my opinion a very essential process of becoming an artist, and it also doesn't disappear. And when you don't doubt the reason why you are doing things, then it's easy to lose track of why you are doing what you're doing.
If you're in a phase with low motivation, how do you find it again?
Well, I think that there are some interesting artistic detours that can also help. Well, what was a key moment for me is when I was around 18, 19, I was playing in a rock band, a recorder, saxophone, all kinds of things, and I thought, and my friends didn't read music, and I thought, wow, they can't read a single note of music, but still what they are playing is really coming out of them. Even though I was, let's say, the most highly qualified player, I felt like I was just a music reader and not a musician even. We are reading music, but if we can make it sound like we have invented it ourselves, then it can sound fresher than ever. And a lot of music that we are playing has its origins in improvisation or in oral culture, and was written by many composers that were improvisers themselves. This was a kind of another aha moment where I got back into it, looking at written music like it's just one version of a musical idea instead of this kind of thing in stone, set in stone. Yeah, that was an eye-opener, and it helped me very much to find my way.
So the advice you give to somebody would be find your connection with the music, really.
Well, first of all, don't think that other people are not doubting. Probably the people who are looking like they're never doubting are doubting the most, because they might have a facade. And the second thing is, go into improvisation even just a little bit. As a performer, you can follow better the chain of decisions that the composer took. So the composer starts a piece and then he decides to take a left turn. But as a performer, it is interesting to know what could have been the right turn.
That can give you a lot more freedom.
Yeah, and perspective, and see it less like it is set in stone, but more as I said, one version of a musical idea.
Is that something you use when you're performing the same piece many, many times?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'd like to bring as many recorders as I can carry, and then see what I feel like. I choose, whatever feels right, and I might change my mind 1 second before I have to play it. I might change it also during the performance.
So you have to be really flexible with like tuning and...
Yeah, but I think as a performer you have to stay flexible. I mean, I am preparing, let's say, spaghetti bolognese very often for my audience. I'm playing the same piece maybe very often. So the only way that I can make it fresh is also to keep my own mind fresh about this piece. And no audience member should have the feeling that they get a microwave dinner.
That's a beautiful quote. Do you have a pre-concert ritual?
I'd like to chat with the technicians and backstage people until the second I have to enter the stage.
Oh, really?
This is my it's not really a ritual, it's more like my favorite thing to do.
So the moment where you concentrate, focus on the music, is the moment you walk out on stage?
It's a weird thing to say, but I think concentration is overrated. No, I mean, I feel that when I want my audience to be touched by a certain piece of music, I need to feel as human as possible. And when I go into my ivory tower and it's like, oh, and then this note and then this note, the only thing I'm doing is putting a kind of fence between the audience. Well, at least that's how I experience it. Everybody is different. Anyway, it's too late to practice your music when you're going to...
What happens if you make a mistake in the performance?
I stop the concert and I go home. I've learned to realize that is okay. I mean, I think every artist has to live with his own perfectionism. And I am also a perfectionist, but I think the improvisation also made me realize that there are different versions. The most important thing is that you stir the emotions of the audience. That takes the audience out of maybe their daily routine or offers horizons that they didn't know of. That is the main goal, and a little mistake is really not a thing.
Yeah, it really stays human.
Perfection is for Ken and Barbie. I mean...
And that's also one thing I've noticed at your concerts, is that you're always out there chatting with the audience afterwards. Yeah, I always see this line of people waiting to come and have a chat, and that's really nice.
I really enjoy chatting with the audience afterwards, to hear what they say, or to sometimes hear what they don't like. This can happen in Holland, where people can be especially direct and blunt.
Which is your favorite instrument?
It is a so-called fourth flute, so it's a soprano recorder in B flat.
Did you just play?
I just improvised something.
Oh, lovely. You perform in every style, I would say. Do you have a favorite genre to perform?
Right now, I enjoy playing French music very much. And I enjoy playing at low pitch, so 392, so it's one whole tone lower, so I have a set of instruments.
Then my last question, and you might have to give a very diplomatic answer. But do you have a favorite recorder player you like to listen to?
Maybe the nicest answer is really my students. I mean, when a student is performing and we have been working on something for a long time and things are working and I feel like, wow, my contribution actually makes sense, then that gives me an enormous amount of pleasure to listen to that.
We're going to play a tune that you all recognise probably, because I play this a lot in my videos. Daphne. thank you so much, Erik, for coming and appearing on Team Recorder. If you want to know more about Erik and what he's doing, his performances, CDs, masterclasses, I'll put links in the description to his website. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face down here in the corner. Down here is a link to the Team Recorder Patreon, where you can choose to support the channel, and in the description is a link to the Team Recorder WEBSHOP, where you can order my album. And here is a link to last Team Recorder Profiles video, which was my interview with Michaela Petri. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!
Bye!